How you doing? My name is Staff Sergeant Stevens, S-T-E-V-E-N-S, Michael D. I am the Landing Support Chief, Landing Support Detachment Chief.
The unit?
CLB-26. Basically what we're tasked with out here today is assisting Fort A.P. Hill's range control and moving all of these targets out to individual ranges out at Impact Area Daniels and Impact Area Zion, or the Upper Zion. Well, actually this is, it's kind of training, but it isn't. This is as real world as we can get outside of Camp Lejeune. What the Marines are going to be doing out here today is taking these targets, rigging them for external lift like you see behind me, and sending them forward to these other areas, much like we would do in a humanitarian assistance situation or in a combat situation where we're replenishing troops that are forward deployed or in the forward areas. So actually, out at TQ, we've done this kind of replenishment using ammunition, water sources, food, sending them up into the forward areas to help support the infantry, the Division Marines. Also, we've done, I personally was a part of Indonesia in the mudslides in 05, or the tsunami in 05, where we actually took and sent all kinds of medical capabilities forward, as well as we put personnel inside of the aircraft and sent them forward to help out in the actual devastated areas.
Okay. So medical supplies is a big reason why you work.
Right. Replenishment is the big thing. Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids is what we're responsible for moving. Today we're going to be working with CH-53 Echoes, one of our primary workhorses for doing external lifts. They have the heaviest lift capacity. They can lift up to 32,000 pounds. They're a pretty big workhorse as far as the Marine Corps is concerned, as far as doing external lifts and logistics. Those are some, that's all situationally based. It depends on the weight of the load, depends on the fuel inside of the aircraft, things of that nature. You know, weight, distance, how far they're going, things like that. And weather plays a big role. What this does for us in an urban environment is, say we're in the rear, set up at an LZ, helping out the ACE, doing some sort of replenishment to the troops that are forward deployed, and say in a situation where they're pushing through Fallujah. If we needed to get more MREs, more ammunition, more water out to those individuals, it doesn't take the aircraft to land on the deck to put these, give the supplies to these individuals. They could basically hover into an open area, cut the load, which would basically release the slings from underneath the helicopter, set it on the ground, and then at any point in time, those individuals that are forward deployed could get there and get those supplies. Basic benefits of doing this, besides the outstanding training evolution of it, and it looks cool in the outside perspective of the real world. You could take a large amount of gear and hook it up to the bottom of the aircraft, and that frees up space inside of that aircraft for personnel. So not only can you drop ammunition and food, but potentially that aircraft can land and people can get out of it. Big things that we have, V-22 Osprey, it can't lift as much, but is extremely fast when it comes to doing this kind of replenishment. As of right now, this mission dictates a lot for the MEU. All of this targetry that's moving forward out into Upper Zion and Daniels will actually support, from what we were told, within hours, whether it's tomorrow morning or a couple of hours after this, the MEU, be it the BLT, the ACE, or the CLB, will be shooting at these targets. So a lot is hinged right now. In fact, all of Fort A.P. Hill is actually on a check fire based on this evolution. A lot of the Marines, it's a requirement for them, upon completion of their basic school, which I was an instructor of, they have to do this kind of operation. This is actually one of our key points. We as landing support specialists are responsible for a lot of things: airfields, ports, beaches, railheads, and of course this type of airfield where we're doing external lifts. The airfields being that C-130 can land, and we're in charge of getting that squared away and also doing helicopter operations like this. So these Marines, basically they're getting good sustainment out of this type of training. This is based out of what we have to train with out of Camp Lejeune. This is a complete type of training device. This is not a live vehicle, but it is a lot more realistic of a simulation compared to the I-beams that we use over in Camp Lejeune. Well, the CLB as an entity is responsible for supporting a lot. We coordinate with the ACE, we coordinate with the BLT, just as we coordinate with our naval counterparts when it comes to anything logistics within our MEU. With the ACE, I would say that the key aspect of movement with the CLB and the ACE is us, because if we were set up in an airfield, we would be those key personnel on the ground, coordinating flights, coordinating missions, establishing a good working relationship between us and the ace is a key. We've got to have it. That's part of this good training. We've gotten to sit down with all of the officers and include some of the crew chiefs. And you know, hey, this is me, this is you. We're going to be working together. Let's get together and make sure we have a good working relationship type deal.
And how do you think this mission will help with that?
I think it's going to better our confidence on the ground with the pilots and the crew chiefs that are actually flying the aircraft, as well as their confidence in our performance underneath that aircraft.